Hello, and welcome to Last Time On. This is the podcast where we pick a show that none of us have seen, well, to kind of fumble our way through it, and we try to figure out what happened last time on. I guess I'm trying to feel out a little new intro today. I don't know, guys. I'm Xhafer.
I am Ben.
I'm Victor, and this is Last Time On. We are the #1 rated podcast amongst middle-aged men with glasses and beards.
I'm wearing my contacts today.
Yeah, I know. I came up with this joke before it started, and this is the one day that you didn't wear your damn glasses.
There we go.
Dude, those are badass. Those are... You look like
Minor transitions. You'd never know because you only ever see me when I'm inside. But anyways, yeah, we're talking about Viper. We're in Season 3, Episode 19. Homecoming. This is supposedly the highest rated episode of this show.
second highest.
After
Second
the pilot.
highest, behind the pilot.
Yeah.
I don't
Interesting.
know.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened.
I'm excited. I'm glad we saw this one.
It was an episode.
feels-
And it did get you some points, Ben.
Yeah,
Points
it
on the board.
A few points.
For this episode, for sure, because Frankie's the only one who drives the Viper in Defender mode this episode, meaning it is Frankie's mission.
Yeah, and I've decided to, I was just going to throw this out there, actually, because this was going to be our go-back episode, but since we landed on it, I'm just going to say, Ben, you get to pick our go-back episode.
I was going to anyway.
I really want to watch Manhunt, which is the one after one of the ones that we watched that I started on accident.
Well, that's the
because
one that the girls did for the April Fool's Day
Is it?
episode. Yeah.
Was it Manhunt?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah, it's
Okay.
the one with the leather daddy robot man.
Yes. Okay. No. Yeah. No. We should do that one.
Oh,
We should do
but
our
they already
go-back
did
one.
it though. We can't
Yeah,
do
but
better
that's
than
half
them.
the fun. That's probably also true.
I say Ben gets to pick, and if Ben picks
It'd be
Manhunt,
really
then
funny
we
if I
Manhunt.
roll really low a bunch of times and it ends up that our April Fool's episode that we don't do is the go back episode. Anyways,
Well.
Season 3, Episode 19, Homecoming.
Homecoming.
This was an
No
episode of
Spider-Man.
television. I did think this was better than the last episode of Viper that we watched.
Which one? Okay, so the last one was
Was the
shit.
the spy out of the cold?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The stupid Bates couple sex
Yes,
tapes
yeah.
episode.
That was so weird.
You guys are crazy. That is the only episode they are in. I am sure of it.
Yeah, I think so.
We open this episode on a big truck driving through a small town making too much damn noise.
Yeah, we open up just like some gentleman in the morning with some evil semis.
Nice. That's one of your better dad jokes. That's good. An old lady walks out in her bathrobe and her slippers, yelling at the trucks. This is one step away from old man yells at cloud.
Who's laughing now?
Yeah. We see two old guys talking about cheating at cards.
Cheating at cards, and then it transitions into every non-podcast conversation with Xhafer. Oh, what are your maladies? What's broken? What's not working anymore? I'm old.
Nice. They mentioned that they should really get an ordinance against trucks driving through town this late at night. I think that is actually a thing.
That is a thing.
Yeah.
But it's also just very, like, if there is a town that there is a highway going through it, typically, like, I grew up in a town like this. The semis aren't driving through the center of town.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going down Main Street. But
Yeah. And come to think of it, this ordinance apparently doesn't apply to trains because I live like less than a mile from some fucking train tracks, and that son of a bitch blares
it does
his horn.
when you don't live in a libertarian utopia.
Oh, that's true. This is
there is more proof that this is a libertarian utopia in this episode.
Otto, that guy's clearly Cole's dad. And Ray is the cop who gets run off the road and does what I can only describe as a hot rod amount of falling down a gorge to theme.
Very like a Homer Simpson-esque fall down a gorge.
Yeah, it tumbles a few times.
Now, here's why I was very excited to watch this episode. Did anyone recognize the actor who plays
Cole's
Cole
dad.
Sr.?
From Wagon Train. Yeah.
He,
Some-
I thought he looked like Kevin from Star Trek. The
Oh, Kevin Uxbridge?
yeah, the one who the Q
genocide guy?
Q
Yeah.
entity in disguise. Yeah,
He's a Dowd.
he's a Dowd. I love that you remember that.
The Who's Knock are the
Who's Knock
species that he wiped out. Yeah.
yes.
All
Ah,
Who's
you,
Knock
I'm
any
with my
better.
people. It feels so good.
We're not qualified to be your judges. We have no law to fit your crime.
Yeah,
Genocide,
actually,
Picard.
we do.
Genocide.
That is totally a crime.
We're
But
going
anyway,
to
no, who
space
is he,
hag.
Ben?
It is Robert Fuller.
Yeah.
Who,
I recognize the name.
Yeah, he starred in Laramie, one of those Western shows that has like 150 episodes that I'm just like, needs to be a series on Cool Girls. Just because like there are several of those, like that, Gunsmoke, the original Wild Wild West. I would actually,
Oh God, I forgot about
I
that.
would really
one,
love for them to do Wanted Dead or Alive, which I say as a segue because Wanted Dead or Alive is the show that starred Steve McQueen, who, if anybody remembers the original, The Magnificent Seven, played Vin Tanner. Robert Fuller played Vin Tanner in the sequel. So he's one of our Vin Tanners, one of our stars, along with Yul Brynner of The Magnificent Seven Ride Again.
Ben, how deep does this fucking rabbit hole go?
I don't think we've even seen the tip of the iceberg. I think the potential of what the internet is going to do to society, both good and bad, is unimaginable.
He was also in 2 episodes of Briscoe County Jr.
Oh my God,
And Wagon Train.
bro, you just leveled up your rabbit hole skill like 3
love
times.
West- I really love Westerns.
That was damn, dude. You are really good at that.
After theme, we're at Viper HQ, where Cole informs us that we'll be calling his dad Ethan to avoid confusion this episode.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, during the theme, sorry, I've been meaning to point this out. I love the theme, and it starts out with "It slithers the streets in pursuit of justice."
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay, glad
muscle
I got
cars
that in.
prowl, but Vipers slither. So
Or
it's kind of a dichotomy. Why not both, I suppose?
Why not both?
But we get a phone call from somebody saying, hey, family friend is dead. We're pretty sure it's murder. And it's like, why do you think that?
Oh, because they said he was
Because
they said he was drunk.
Alcoholic who's currently on the wagon.
Is it on the wagon or off the wagon?
On the wagon is sober. Off the wagon,
Okay.
no longer sober.
There's a giant liquor store right by me called Off the Wagon, by the way.
Hell yeah.
I kind of want to go in there, but I'm kind of afraid to.
I would be as well. But yeah, we find out the sheriff is dead, which is interesting because when we see the aftermath of the car crash, a shadowy figure runs down to our upside down car, and the sheriff is very much making noises and alive.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's like, so it made me wonder, like, okay, like, are we getting another spy episode? Is the sheriff actually alive the whole time? But that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, unfortunately, no, yeah. So back at Viper HQ,
Yeah. We learned Frankie's the new tech guy.
Yeah.
he invents
fucking
the
with the
remote
Viper.
start. Which, I guess he fails to invent the remote start because it breaks. He presses the button and Viper breaks. I'm seeing a pattern here. This has happened in almost every episode we've seen. We have like a Viper malfunction. Where
There's
it
a
can't...
reason why we can't use the car in the car chase.
Yeah, that's it. Because I think it's one of those things like I heard this was a problem in one of the seasons of Doctor Who because it didn't make sense all the problems that the Doctor runs into because he has his fucking sonic screwdriver. So they took it away from him for an entire season.
Yeah.
And I think it's a similar thing here with Viper. It's like, how is anything a threat to Viper when it's this badass supercar? So it's like, okay, well, let's just make the Viper not work.
Yeah.
It was,
You'll have to deal with
I'm
it.
guessing at this point they have run out of, okay, what supercar can the bad guy have?
Right.
I'm assuming we maxed out at Evil Viper, and then they're like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know where to go from here.
We did the Manhunt, which is the Cyborg episode, so we already went by that.
Yeah, it's a real problem of Viper Ex Machina.
Viper Ex Machina.
Where
Episode
they
title.
They just need to do something so that the show remains interesting.
So now we arrive at the small mountain town of Trinity.
And Cole decides to take the Viper, even though it's not working. And he's like, Frankie's all just like, but it's broke. What if something happens? And he's like, nothing ever happens in Trinity. And I'm like, something's going to happen in Trinity.
When we drive into town, we see the town sign, and it's got a like hand-painted population number on it. And I was really, really hoping we'd see someone painting it one lower.
Oh, like
as we rolled into town,
like the Battlestar Galactica opening, just like as the population count.
Yeah. Oh, we went one down. Oh wait, Tom Joe Mike's back. Erase. It's a town of 3,300 people. Do we really need to pay somebody to keep doing this as people enter and leave?
he tries to find his dad. He finds him at home. He fell asleep while watching The Price is Right. As is his right as an old.
Hell yeah.
The house is for sale. We noticed that.
Cole has a talk with him and starts asking questions, and his dad starts giving him shit about why are you asking me all these questions. I'm like, didn't you ask him to come down here to help with the investigation? Like
Hey,
he's here to investigate, and you're giving him shit for
a murder. Yeah. Don't ask me any questions.
Yeah.
So who the fuck called him?
Yeah, I assumed it was Ethan.
Because he said I never should have called you.
Oh, is that okay? Yeah.
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 Because he seems like he's giving him shit for showing up after he called him for help.
You're right.
And I was just like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Also,
help me investigate. No, not like that.
Yeah. No, investigate everyone else. Don't ask me, the last person to see him alive, and the person who recovered his car. Don't ask me questions. I already know what I know. Find out what other people know.
Yeah.
But we also get, hey, you weren't at the...
Gesundheit.
We also get the, hey, you weren't at the garage. It's not like you to take a day off. And it's like, Tom Joe Mike, you and your dad are estranged. You don't know how often he goes into work.
Speaking of which, it just hit me that this entire time, Tom Joe Mike fucking took the Viper, even though it's not working, and said Frankie can just fix it later. Well, this entire time, isn't the Metro City down? Like, aren't they relying on them? Like, fuck Metro City. I'm going to take the supercar. You didn't have another car you could take? You couldn't have gone to Enterprise and get a Ford Focus for the weekend? Like, well, shit, dude.
Make Frankie's one of his souped-up cars? Yeah. Leave him the keys to the Viper for the weekend? He's not going to complain.
You're right.
That said, I'm going to say last time on, because our most recent episodes, we saw Viper dealing with the CIA and another small town. Viper has solved crime in Metro City. That is why our team is so bored and just like hanging around a base.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I like your theory.
They have single-handedly stopped all Metro City crime.
Metro City is safe.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Cole starts his investigation, heading to the local cop shop. He runs into his old high school buddy, Matt, there, and they catch up briefly before he goes talking to the sheriff.
Did you guys immediately get the vibe that this was obviously our villain for this episode?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That said, I was also mad because, and I know this isn't a problem for anybody else, they keep flipping back between chief of police and sheriff, which are two different jobs.
I could see it being in a small town. Are you saying
the episode isn't well written, Ben?
No, I'm saying that clearly this town is so small. They have a chief of police who's also the sheriff, which is, a bit of a conflict of interest, but really adds some texture and flavor to this small town.
I could see it happening.
Sure.
Yeah, in a small town. Yeah.
Cinema.
So, let's see.
He starts talking to the sheriff, and the sheriff's all like, oh, well, he's just another drunk driver. Just another dead drunk driver. We don't care about that in Libertarian Utopia.
Yeah,
but
because
also
he got his promotion now because he's the new sheriff. The old sheriff's dead. He's like, I'm not going to ask too many questions. I just got a raise.
Maybe that's actually what it was. Maybe this guy was the chief of police, and now he's acting sheriff.
That would also, that would make sense as well. Yeah.
Well, they also called the dead sheriff, the chief was great. It's like, then he's the sheriff. He's not the chief. It's two different jobs.
Chief was just his nickname. It's like the Kansas City football team. Chief is just the nickname of the owner. It doesn't actually reference anything.
I see.
The Arrowhead's just a coincidence. Guys.
Nice. Well,
but we do get Tom Joe Mike being incredulous. Like, what about the two men my dad saw him getting in an argument with? And it's like, two shadowy men that you can give us no description of in a pickup truck.
Yeah,
in
that sounds like everyone.
Small town, mountain, small mountain town. That is 80% of the people here, Tom Joe Mike. Like, give me something more, and I can see what we come up with.
That's still only 4,000 people.
Yeah, but it's like
you can knock down those doors.
It's like if you went back to Metro City and you're like, a man in a shirt in a Toyota Camry. It's like, I don't know, there's 10,000 of them.
Yeah. So Cole steps outside, and I'm pretty sure we get another. This is a new Viper model again. I think this is a different one because this one's a hardtop, and I don't think
no,
they
it's
just
not.
They just put the convertible up.
He just has the convertible up. Yeah.
Is that what a
They've got
hardtop is?
Yeah. Well, no.
No.
So it's like a retractable roof thing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the previous Viper in just the last episode had like a cloth hardtop, whatever those are called. I think
it might be an upgraded or a changed Viper, but it's not a new Viper until I'm going to say blue. It feels like the new Viper will be blue, but I'm shooting from the hip there.
Oh, shut up. You saw the previews.
It's going to be a different color, though.
It's-
blue was the other famous Viper color.
Was it?
Oh. Yeah, like that was a thing. Blue Vipers were a thing.
Yeah. Well, on the back of my DVD case, there's a blue Viper. So.
Okay.
This is like.
Cheating.
So yeah.
Cheating.
Spoiler alert. Well, I bought the DVD. Man, I spent $40 on the thing. I can cheat.
You spent real
I bought my
human
rights.
money?
to cheat.
Hey, he didn't put points on it. It's not cheating.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, this is our ex-girlfriend Pamela, who is now the town's only doctor.
Dr. Riggs, put some respect on her fucking name.
She didn't go to TV medical school for me to call her Pamela.
She didn't.
No, but we do get the weird, like, hey, I'm running into my ex from high school, like, writer fantasy, where it's just like,
Yeah.
and she immediately is just like, I still love you. And it's like, instead of like what a normal human being's reaction to be like, you disappeared after high school? Like, you're a fucking asshole. Like, you didn't even have the good grace to dump me. Go fuck yourself with a rhino dick.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is where we differ because I thought it was kind of normal to. I grew up in a really small town, so
Me too.
I could not wait to get the fuck out of there.
Oh, yes. But I also would not expect to come back to the small town and have people be like, Ben Curley, you son of a bitch. Duke and Dylan,
Yeah, do the
hand
handshake.
clasp.
Yeah.
I'd expect, like, Ben Curley, I don't know, I kind of remember, like, whatever. But also, you know what's not a good thing when you are a special operative for the federal government? Everyone in your small hometown knowing you're a federal special operative for
true.
the federal government. This isn't like, hey, the sheriff brings it up. Because, like, maybe they know or somebody phoned ahead. This is Matt brings it up and Pamela also knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, who's telling anybody?
I think that's the problem with this entire cast of the show because even fucking in season 1, Julian was giving the details of his top secret project to his, 8-year-old daughter who was telling her friends at school about the Viper project, So, you've all failed at OPSEC, Viper crew.
Ain't that the truth?
But hey, who needs it when you've got a badass Viper crew?
Yeah, when you're invincible, you don't need it.
Yeah.
We get a sandwich and a HIPAA violation all in one. Because Ethan is making sandwiches. He's like legit making sandwiches. Like,
Oh, dude, he's got a whole sandwich bar in his office.
got-
It's
but he's got,
nice.
like,
I hope it's corned beef.
That sounds good.
corned beef and lettuce.
What's wrong with corned beef and
Yeah,
lettuce?
corned
Is that
beef and
bad?
lettuce. It's a nice crunch.
I've never done that before.
Oh.
Yeah. I like doing a really crispy lettuce with some creamy horseradish. And I put the creamy horseradish on the side so that it's in between the crispy lettuce and the meat to act as glue, but also then the bread remains fluffy.
Shit.
You guys, I just, like 2 days ago, I got it on a clearance, like a pre-President's Day sale. I got this badass panini press thing for $12. And oh my God, I have been having delicious melty sandwiches for the past 3
Hell yeah.
days.
Now, Victor, this is important. It's only a grilled cheese if the only ingredient between the bread is cheese.
Ah, man, hey, I've got my own sandwich maker now.
As
I
soon
can make
as you
my
put
own
anything
rules.
else in there, it's a melt.
Oh, then I've been having all kinds of melts. Then yeah, I've been putting hot dogs, turkey meat, everything. I put it all up in there and I
those are all
smash that bitch.
The only reason I bring it up is I have run across people like who get really like, that is not a grilled cheese. You can't put tomato on that. Then it's a tomato melt. And it's like, who gives a shit, dude?
Actually, I think tomato might be the one exception.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
want to
think
put
a tomato
in there,
slice
yeah.
could still be a grilled cheese. I know
so
you're
good.
making a face, and I
It's so
agree with
good.
you, Vic. Disgusting. But the idea is the sandwich carry form of a grilled cheese and tomato soup, which is delicious.
I never had that either.
Oh,
That's
it's the best.
But I have
it's
no room
real
to talk
good.
because just today I made myself a batch of homemade ranch using almond milk, and I'm pretty sure this is something that only I would like. It's got
I
that
think
kind
you've
of taste.
committed a war crime. Vic.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think so.
Maybe that's just my Midwest coming
Yeah.
through right now. We've got a little bit of feelings about ranch.
I don't know. See, as a lactose intolerant man, I like the idea of ranch that doesn't make me want to turn inside out.
Well, the reason I
use
did it
oat
is
milk
because
for
I made a
ranch.
big batch of it, and I didn't want to use regular milk because that spoils quicker, but almond milk lasts for like months. So that's why I did it. And it tastes
How
different.
thin is this ranch?
It's very thin. I like my ranch thin. Like that's how I don't like creamy ranch.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
I like my ranch like I like my ladies.
He had no problem whatsoever hitting on the undercover officer on the audio tape, trying to pick her up and saying, "Girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal."
Thick. Listeners in the Discord, let us know, what are your thoughts on my my atrocity that I've committed with almond milk, and how do you like your ranch? Let us know.
Before they part ways, Dr. Riggs tells Cole to talk to his dad about his health, and when he does, he finds out he's got cancer and maybe 6 months left to live.
Yes.
After the sandwich bar, Cole goes and talks to Dr. Riggs, and she goes over the details.
Yeah, she shows him his fucking X-rays. So I'm guessing that when
It's
she was
bone
in,
cancer.
yeah, is
To say
what
that.
bone
It's
cancer?
Bone cancer.
Yes.
Oh, bone cancer. Yeah. Well, I'm guessing that when Dr. Riggs was in medical school, she was out skipping the day they went over Dr. Patient confidentiality.
That does not exist in our libertarian utopia.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right.
Oh, you're going to have to execute his will. You may as well know what's killing him.
Yeah.
Like, they don't give a fuck.
If we're gonna execute his will, do you want to execute him? That's legal here.
Yeah, I've got an idea for a. By the way, listeners, I'm sorry I have not updated this season's podcast artwork yet, but I've got something special. I'm working on a hedgehog driving a viper because the hedgehog is the symbol for the Libertarian Party. We go over the X-rays. Villain douchebag guy walks in and he interrupts the conversation with Cole and Dr. Riggs, and he gives Cole crap about hitting on his girl. Even
Yes.
though at no point does she mention, by the way, I'm not your girlfriend.
Well, but also like he busts in like hot, like, hey, what?
Yeah.
You stepping on my girl? And it's like they're standing here looking at a bunch of X-rays. It's like it's not like you caught them in flagrante or something. Like they're just like looking at like, and here's the tumors. This one's a threemer, and it's just like.
I'm sorry,
He just does not he does not read the room.
yeah.
No.
So
He
what does
puts
in
his-
flagrante mean?
In coitus.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised. That's a great word. I'm going to use that.
PV. Not necessarily. Whatever your preferred genital combination is.
Yeah, I'm going to be able to say, hey, girl, what you doing this weekend? You want to in flagrante?
And your whispering eye. Whispering eye?
It means vagina.
I'm doing finger to finger. Xhafer's doing hole to hole. Victor put his elbow
whatever.
in there.
Look, I would say this is a judgment-free podcast. That's a lie. But when it comes to your sexual preferences, 100% judgment-free.
Oh, no, I will judge you.
Well, I mean, Ben will, but, as long as everyone's consenting adults.
That's fine. I'll still be like, ew, gross. Like,
well,
put
yeah,
down a
you're
towel.
approved.
Like, come on.
Put down a towel.
Maybe making the bed a mess is the thing, Ben.
But then you have to do laundry.
Yeah, well, that's the price you pay, I suppose.
And here at Ben's Carpet Cleaners, it's our Valentine's Day sale.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Anyways, yeah. Matt puts his foot in his mouth with Dr. Riggs so firmly, it's just about as bad as the time I say it in next week's episode of Who Are You? That hasn't aired yet as we're listening. That's a little fun one for the pod fam.
Stay tuned.
Go over there. Cole and Ethan check out the car crash site and the path the car would have taken for clues, and we just touch everything at this crime scene.
Is this where Cole busts out his tire tricorder?
Because we find the crash site, and it's like, this doesn't look like the crash site. And even then, the dad is just like, he wouldn't have gone this way. He would have taken this way. This is actually how you get to home. And so this is the brilliance of Viper showing us the stupidity of these criminals. Because they caused this car crash, and instead of just, like, cleaning up the first site, they don't clean up the first site and make a second. It's easier to tow away a crashed car and frame a second crash than it is to...
And this is all stuff, and I noticed this is all stuff that the audience has seen. And you specifically mentioned this last episode, Ben. Like, it's a artistic writing thing to let the audience be a step or two ahead of the cast. Yeah. But in this case, we've seen everything already.
I've seen everything. Yeah, I've seen it all.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no tension here because we already know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, we know what happened. It's just a matter of it's like Columbo. Every episode of Columbo starts with us seeing the murder, and the mystery isn't who done it. It's how will Columbo figure it out.
We see our two huge freaking guys. Watching
these serial crushed.
Above.
These are the ugliest goons we have had in this entire series, dude.
I'm glad we didn't see them make a sex tape at the very least.
That's true. These I refer to them through my notes as the rubes, because they are just like two country like yokels. Like these are guys I have seen at Tractor Supply Company, where it's just like, why are you wearing the flannel if you like only button the bottom button?
Over at Viper HQ, Frankie and Cameron do research on the crime, the scene, the suspects as they review evidence with the sheriff.
Frankie's on shirt number 2. Only shirt number 2, and this is like halfway through the episode. You're disappointing me, Frankie. You got to pump those numbers up, man. Come on.
I have to ask now, guys. What would you say Cameron does here?
You know, in my notes, I say that she's like a human Cortana. This is what she seems like. She's just like this information database.
She's the police liaison.
But we also know
whenever
that
they're dealing with actual law enforcement, it's always Cameron talking to them.
skills.
Yes.
You can't expect Frank to talk to people.
I would not let Frank talk to people. I would actively keep Frank away from talking to people.
Not since the court order. Later, when he calls backup, they don't bring Cameron. And it's just like,
true.
You know what would have been really helpful at our, spoiler alert, end of show shootout? Having Cameron.
The whole, like, yeah. Let's see.
Just like hanging out in a barber shop, just waiting for Tom, Joe, Mike, like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, those guys used to work for me. Want to go fight them?
Right.
Yeah. Let's go beat up these.
Yeah, he steps out and Matt says, "Is like, hey, I hear the sheriff's death might not have been an accident." Like, dude, how did you hear this? Like, what the hell?
Well, we know how he heard it.
Yeah, we know how he did, but it doesn't raise any red flags with Cole here.
Tom, Joe, Mike does not give a single fuck.
We also find
Matt
out
here
here
reaffirms that he's going to marry Dr. Riggs one day
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, he gives him some shit about it, and Cole's all like lighting up. And Matt here pulls a move that I like to call Schrodinger's douchebag, because he's like being a dick, and then he's like, and when he gets called out on it, he's like, "Whoa, dude, I was just joking." So it's like, dude, you were being a dick. Shut up. You can't control Z what you just did.
go like insane, where he's like, "Hey, did you pause your murder investigation / finding out your dad has cancer to hook up with your ex-girlfriend, my current girlfriend?" And it's just like, that's ridiculous. And then immediately in our next scene, Pamela and Tom Joe Mike are kissing. And so it's just like, oh, he did.
Dude, she goes over to his house to quote deliver some prescriptions with that. It's like, whatever, dude. This is an excuse for a booty call. Yeah, they go over some high school pictures that Cole was looking through, and it turns out Dr. Riggs was prom queen, because of course she was.
We also find out Tom Joe Mike's dad was a real piece of shit.
We find out the
back.
reason why he's Ethan, not Dad.
Yeah, hair slicked back, white linen suit, sloppy steaks at Trifoli's. Like a real piece of shit.
Oh, he had all the sloppy steaks.
So apparently his dad was a stock car racer who ran off with, who cheated on his mom constantly and never admitted to doing anything wrong.
Yeah. And they look at all this, and Pamela admits that the only reason she was dating Matt was because there were no other options in this small town.
But she also is just like, I don't know. And then he got so serious about it. It's like, you are all in your 40s. Like, like, how dare this man in his 40s want to get married and settle down? And it's just like, you're in your 40s. Like, it's okay if you don't want to get married. That is fine. But also, like, you're not 19.
Why is it a shock?
Like, you
So
went
back
to
in-
medical school. Time has passed.
So anyways, back at Viper HQ, Westlake gives the character backstory of the two flannel-wearing goons that have been tailing our heroes the entire episode.
We find out more about our libertarian utopia, because even though these two gentlemen are on parole, they've had 8 jobs all across the country. Which means you are no longer limited to travel. Like, you can't leave the county or the state. No, you can go wherever you want. Just call your parole officer.
It also means we've gotten rid of background checks.
Right. Yeah, libertarian utopia, man.
We also find out now there was no autopsy on the chief sheriff.
Libertarian utopia. Get rid of that red tape. And then Ethan comes back and says that, I think he said he called his friend at the coroner's or something. They're going to exhume the body.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not have exhuming a corpse anywhere on my bingo card for Viper.
Also, it's been like a day and a half. That is the quickest fucking burial.
Yeah.
There was no funeral.
For a person who was a pillar of this community.
Right?
A real pillar of the community. 100%.
Well, I mean, he's the
He's
chief sheriff.
the sheriff, and everyone knows his personal business. They all like, oh yeah, he was in AA and he had a drinking problem. He had a flask of whiskey inside his sheriff's truck every time. So.
Yeah.
Now here we do get, I'm man enough to admit it, the low light of this episode. Our Rube's attack.
So curious. Oh yes, the ambush.
And we have gone from, in our pilot, where we had Viper-resistant supercars driven by Rangers, to later episodes where we have things like our Fiona Volpe rocket launcher motorcycles and guys with just tons of guns and grenade launchers.
Yeah, monster trucks with machine guns mounted in the headlights.
Exactly. What do we get in this
We have a
episode?
fucking pickup truck.
Douchebag in the back of a pickup truck with an Uzi. Like, also, for some reason, when the Viper is not in defender mode,
Yeah, it's
windows
not
aren't bulletproof.
Yeah, what the hell? I thought
It's
that
just
was
like,
strange too. Yeah.
Why aren't they just always bulletproof? Why isn't the Viper just always bulletproof? It's the Viper.
He goes to flip the switch that makes it bulletproof, and then it doesn't work because Frankie fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
again,
what
this is
happens when
also. Go ahead.
It's what happens when you let an Italian near your car.
Oh gosh, yeah. But yeah, and again, this continues the theme of Notice, where our goons, our villains, never have regular guns. Like everyone has submachine guns in this libertarian utopia world that we have here.
I mean, yeah, they're just given out. For sure.
Ah! Ben is being more Texan than I am right now.
I keep accosting Victor with this airsoft gun.
It's dope. Nice. So we cut over to.
We cut over to Ethan trying to fix up the Viper. Our second time, randoms are
Rando's
under the
trying to
Viper's
mess with
hood.
it, yeah.
We're just like, you shouldn't be able to open it. Like,
Yeah.
but
Frankie
then
shows up.
Frankie shows up to
Frankie
save the
shows up.
day.
Shirt number 3. Woo! You got my points. Then Cole talks to Pamela back at her office, and she. He goes over to Dr. Riggs' office, and she lets slip that the goons that they've been investigating, they actually work for Matt, despite him saying that he
fired
contracted
them.
them out. Yeah.
And then Matt tries to be like, hey, stay away from my girl. I'll fight you, and I'll win because I fight dirty. I'm a bad guy.
We get a shot of a black Corvette for like no reason. I'm assuming this is Matt's car, but we never see him actually drive it in this entire episode. We just get a transition scene of this black Corvette driving, and I'm thinking, oh, awesome, we're going to get a fucking cool car chase where it's going to be red Viper and black Corvette. And no, that never
At the
happens.
very least, I was hoping that the Viper was going to have to take down the semis.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it would have been so
I think
cool.
the budget must have gotten slashed for
It does.
For
It
this
does
season.
seem like
Yeah.
the horrors of TV production got in between us and the purity of Viper.
Which, by the way, in our previous seasons, we've talked about who our fantasy cast would be for a reboot, but I'll save it for next episode. But I've got a whole...
Tell me right now.
No, I've got a whole thing. I'll save it for next episode. I've got a whole thing for what the 2025 Viper series would look like.
I'll start thinking about it. My
I
lead
won't.
is...
Oh, come on. Come on. Join in. Participate in the class assignment. Here's your fair.
I'll give you my taste, my
It's a group
amuse-bouche.
assignment, and I'm just going to let Ben carry me through it.
Oh, look, this libertarian utopia thing is going a little too far here, too.
I'm just going to say my favorite current actor should be our new Tom Joe Mike. Nicholas Holt is driving the Viper.
Oh, I would do Goggins.
Walton
Walter
Goggins
Goggins
is a
would be
Frank.
Well, okay, since we're going this way, I'll
No.
go ahead and tell you. My main character
Fucking
is
love
going to
Walton
be
Goggins.
Joanna Astor, and she's going to be played by Christina Chong from Strange New Worlds.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, anyway, I got a whole plot idea set up for it, but yeah, we'll talk about it next episode. So, we cut over to Cole. Oh yeah, we got the shot of the Black Viper, the Black Corvette. Yeah, I feel like I was hoping for that we would get a car chase with the Corvette and the Viper, and the writers must have skipped that day at writing school when they covered foreshadowing. So
This is where we find out that Matt also went to prison
That's
with
right.
our rubes, and our arresting officer was new chief sheriff.
got my points for this. Totally counts as a corrupt government agency again. Says we get the corrupt sheriff.
It's just the sheriff, though. It's not the whole agency.
Close enough.
No. One
I'm
corrupt
sta-
guy does
no.
not an agency make.
Oh, it counts because it's
Does
corrupt.
not
He's the sheriff's.
an
He's head of the
agency
sheriff's
make.
department. Give me my point, Ben.
If
Give me the point, Ben. Give it. Give it here.
If a single other sheriff's deputy had shown up to our shootout, I would have said yes. But he's there alone.
You win
with
this time,
booze
Curly.
And booze. Which, man, like, I know I consider myself, and I'm considered by others, a lawful good person. I would totally be a goon. Just like, hey, Ben, stand outside this warehouse and look scary. Like, I can do that.
You can pull that off. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Get
Guy
your
who looks
shades.
like me, just like standing outside a warehouse.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in that warehouse. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do this for 8 hours and then go home and then do it again tomorrow. I don't care. I'll stand outside a warehouse and look scary. Like, come on. If you're hiring a goon, let me know.
Yeah. So they break into Matt's warehouse and they hack his computer.
Which is where we find out our other piece of proof that this is a libertarian utopia. Our Viper team do not need warrants.
Right?
Yeah.
Warrants do not exist for Viper team.
I like how that's what you focused on, and I'm all like, his password is Pamela?
Oh,
not
God,
even
they did say
Pamela
that.
1?
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. I forgot
Bad
about that.
password, bro.
Ugh.
Real bad password.
Yeah.
Also, Dr. Riggs, I won't call her Pamela. Dr. Riggs is also a hacker.
He's a hacker.
Well, no, she just knows his fucking password.
That counts as hacking.
No, it doesn't.
Well, they
she
find
also does
out
not
that
say I'm in.
So they find out that Matt's operation here is a nationwide like hijacking thing where they hijack trucks. They've got crews all over the nation, and now I have my fan theory that this is the prequel to Fast and the Furious. Because that's what they did in the very first Fast and the Furious movie. They hijacked fucking trucks.
TV DVDs. Was it?
DVD players and shit.
I forget if it was TV DVD players or if it was TV VHS players.
Oh, it was. VHS was still a thing in the early 2000s. Yeah. So then we get our final showdown in the villain HQ warehouse. They get pinned down.
And
Frankie fixes the Viper just in time.
And Tom Joe Mike calls Frankie and no one else.
Right?
Did you guys listen to the music that was playing in this scene?
What about it?
Did anything noteworthy of it ring a bell in your brain?
No.
It was not a famous song. It was clearly some bullshit that they threw together, but it had the like little duh from GoldenEye 64's music.
Oh.
And I was just living in that moment for most of this scene.
That was such a damn good game. What the hell was it about that
Ben,
game?
that's the third time you've pulled a gun on us this episode. It has to stop.
Yeah, okay.
You're from Detroit.
The Office. What's his name?
Michael Scott.
Dwight.
Michael Scott, yeah. At every improv session he goes to, he pulls a gun every scene.
Special Agent Michael Scott. Yes.
Yeah.
As a former person who taught improv, there are people who do that, and it sucks. And we make fun of you when you leave.
Well, Ben, you get a point for Frankie driving the Viper. He
Yes, we do.
Totally saves the day. And Frankie fucking wastes the dude. With the Viper guns, I get my point for the Viper guns.
Viper has guns now. But what does Viper also have?
A fucking laser.
Lasers.
Yeah.
So
this
we
kills Matt, right? It like burns a hole in his body. He's dead.
Bounces off a mirror.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never went to college. I'm not that smart, but I'm pretty sure lasers travel at the speed of light.
Now, Victor, you might think
we see this thing slowly bounce off
but
the mirror.
You're thinking of lasers with an S.
With an S, okay.
And these are lasers with a Z.
Yeah, they teach you that in college, the difference between
college
a laser with an S and a laser with a Z.
Man.
But yeah, so we get our prolonged shootout here. Our dad, Ethan, Robert, gets to shoot the gun away from a bad guy. And we do see guys get shot.
Mm-hmm.
Our guy who gets shot with Viper guns isn't dead.
Was it the same guy?
Yeah. So
Maybe non-lethal. Maybe they're rubber rounds.
Or just
Jesus Christ, dude! But that many rubber rounds at that close range, you're still dead, dude. Holy
for
shit.
sure.
He fucking mowed that dude down.
So the interesting thing about the human body is we are surprisingly resilient as well as surprisingly fragile.
Mm-hmm.
You can shoot a person 20 times and they're alive. And you can also shoot a person once and they're not.
You missed my vital organs.
All of them?
This is something that was once taught to me by a wise man, Chuck, who knows from killing people.
Are you talking about my dad right now?
What the fuck?
Your dad did once at dinner say, like, hey, you can kill a guy with a 22. You just have to know where to shoot him.
That's true. He did say that more than once.
You can subsonic 22, put a suppressor on there. Nobody's hearing that shit.
It was. I was just talking about this the other day. Of my new girlfriend who I started dating. She comes from a family of preppers as well. And I was like, oh, one of my co-hosts has a prepper family thing. When we first started dating, I didn't realize this until later, but she was evaluating my usefulness in a zombie apocalypse. And I
Found you
passed.
wanting.
I have.
Oh, you passed?
No, hey, don't. What do you mean I'm wanting? What are you talking?
Ex-military, but like, when was
Yes,
the
I'm a
last time you
pogue.
fired a weapon? Like,
Okay,
come on.
and I am listen, I will admit I am a terrible fucking shot. I always barely qualified on my M16. But
5 times you've pulled the gun on us, Ben.
God. But you want to know what my most useful skill that she said I would have in the apocalypse would be?
Outrunning or she can outrun the zombies while you get eaten.
That is also true. She used to run cross country, and I can barely finish a mile. But no, it's cooking. She said I am a great cook, so it's like, ha, I'm safe.
Wait, Victor, are you trying to tell us you're ex-military and you're just a cook?
No, I was never a cook, but I learned to cook on my own because.
I can't fight Tommy Lee
I
Jones
enjoy
on this
eating.
battleship. I'm just a cook.
Oh, yeah. So
This
yeah.
battleship is under siege.
And of course,
man,
I say
can we
this
watch
after I
Under
said I've
Siege?
been.
Can we make cool girls watch Under Siege?
We
Can we
can't
make cool
make
girls
the
watch
cool
Under
girls
Siege
watch
2
anything.
dark territory?
Is that the one where he kicks a dude in the dick 16 times and then he dies?
No, that is Higher Ground.
I mean, my voice would be on higher ground if he kicked me in the balls 16 times. So that's
he does
fair.
kick a man in the dick so many times he dies.
Oh, that's amazing.
All I'm saying is, cool girls, when it comes to your movie breaks, we've got suggestions. We've got options. It's stuff you don't know exists.
Yeah, I
It
feel
is
like their
Steven Seagal
list
deep
of
guts.
I feel like their list of TV shows is way longer than ours. Has to be.
But yeah,
They have options. Anyway,
to Viper HQ.
wait. Well, but why? Okay, so Frankie gets out and he tells because Matt has the girl hostage, and he says, "Hand over the keys to that car." And Frankie gets out and gives Cole like a
Tom Joe Mike.
Mike's
It's in this warehouse.
right. Yeah, tells him, "Careful with it because wink, wink. I just finished upgrading it or whatever," and hands it to Cole to press the button. Dude, Frankie, why couldn't you just press the button right there?
You just like laser
Because
beam
Frankie
to
doesn't
Matt's
kill
face.
Yeah, he had to hand
And-
it to the star of the episode.
And I can tell you why.
So, why?
Because lasers with a Z to the face might be lethal. A laser off that reflective surface to a specific target in the back, non-lethal.
And how did he aim that thing with the key fob?
Because as Frankie explained earlier in the episodes, Victor, had you been paying attention, you can control all of Viper's
All of
systems
them.
from the key fob.
There's 3 buttons on that key fob. It's like, how do you do all
But well, Frankie might be wanting in some areas. Design is not one of those. It is so intuitive
Yeah, of course.
that just handing it over to somebody who's never held it before, you can feel it and just go, that's the laser.
Oh, it's like the predictive text on your phone.
Yeah.
So, it anticipates. It has AI. Yeah. Anyway.
Don't bring up
Anyways.
AI. Xhafer's mad enough.
I know.
made him watch an episode of Viper.
Well, that about wraps it up for our episode back at Viper HQ.
There is
Frank-
one thing I need to call out from the end of this episode, and
Let's
that
hear
is Frankie and Cameron leave together.
Ooh.
That's literally what I have written after that sentence. That ooh, like that, different capitalization, the whole deal.
Nice.
But we also find out that Tom Joe Mike has a sister.
Yeah, we get
She's
the
with the
unseen
dad.
sister.
And the dad is just like, don't worry, I'm taking my meds. Like, I've decided life is worth living. I'm not giving up. You still need me.
And And earlier when he said, it made me cringe whenever Ethan was like, doctors don't always know what they're talking about. I'm like, oh, God, shut up, you boomer. And then he says, at one point he says, don't you think I would have gotten one or two more opinions? And I'm like, no, because there's only one doctor in town. And you don't strike me as the type of guy to put effort into going out of town to see another doctor. So I think this one or two other opinions, it's like, okay, I believe you, but I think these opinions came from like Joe Bob at the bar, where he's all just like, doctor says I have cancer. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, Obamacare, blah, 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 or whatever.
There's no Obama in our libertarian utopia. But yes,
anyway,
that is the
I had
end
a
of our
really good
episode.
joke locked up there that I forgot about.
Go
Him getting a second opinion, and the second opinion was Joe Bob at the bar.
All right.
It was way funnier when I thought of it. Oh, well. Sorry, listeners. I'll do better next time.
Will you? Well, with that said, time to roll some dice.
Roll them bones.
We also had no sign of Viper Dog in this episode. I was super
Yes.
disappointed.
Very sad.
And we didn't get the guy from the intro either, did we?
No.
The mysterious...
That's actually my first prediction.
We
So
never
we'll
see,
get to that in a minute, but let's roll some dice real quick.
we never see fourth guy from our intro.
Yeah.
All right, that is an 8,
Yay!
which means
Still
we're
too
going
high.
to Season 4, Episode 6, The Full Frankie.
I'm so happy right now.
I'm excited. I'm...
Frankie bears all to
Oh, no.
uncover a blackmail murder plot at a local strip club for women.
Oh my God! That was such a roller coaster of a description.
This is the best show ever made.
Oh, wow.
Can we make the cover art for our next episode be Shawn Michaels in Playgirl?
Okay, you make that one.
No, Victor.
No.
You put
Okay,
Shawn Michaels
hey.
Playgirl in your algorithm, and then we'll take it from there.
Oh, man.
But
Also,
now
this is at
we need
least
to make
the-
some predictions.
This is at least
do.
the second time that we've had a criminal conspiracy to become the mayor, because Matt wanted to be the mayor. And wasn't that from our...
Our pilot.
Our
Yeah.
pilot. And this is also the second time we've had a corrupt sheriff.
A corrupt sheriff of a small town that's not Metro City.
Lincoln, what are you doing up there?
Guessing? I guess no one's coming.
You ruined the prophecy.
My daytime prediction, we never see Cole's dad again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
It's peasy.
Hey, he said hey, you still
Okay.
need me.
Okay, we never reference Cole's dad again.
It's a little better. But it's okay. It's
It's
okay.
a 1 point. It's supposed to be the gimme point. So
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
my
Give me
evening
a point
prediction,
here on last time.
that new guy in the credits we still haven't seen,
Yeah.
we won't until the series finale.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
gonna
I
say
don't know
we
how many
never see
episodes
that
we're
guy.
going to watch. It could be 1 or 2 more. I'm not sure how many episodes are in the final season. I think mathematically we might be watching 2 more episodes of Viper regardless.
I think so.
That's bold of you to think that he's going to show up for the finale, though.
Well, I don't know that he will show up in the finale, but I'm saying we won't see, if we do see him, it won't be until the finale. None of the episodes we watch before the
Yeah.
finale will.
We don't even know what
include
this
him.
g's name
Is
is.
my
We just get his
prediction.
credits.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm referring to him as Viper Jonas.
okay. And then my primetime prediction, Cameron gets the axe before next season.
Oh, so okay.
They might kill her off. We might lose her. She might get promoted and go somewhere else. But next season, she's not a regular part of the Viper team.
Man, you just did a we're not going to see this person again hat trick.
I did.
It's his
didn't
old
I?
standby. All right.
I'm
well,
I was
on to
like,
you.
shit, I need predictions. Okay.
I'm on to your game, Xhafer.
I'm not super mad because my daytime prediction, we never see Cole's dad again.
Oh, God. You both are not taking this seriously.
I am taking this seriously. When the episode ends with, I'm going to stick around, you still need me. No, we're never seeing your ass again. Although it would be cool if we did, because you're awesome. My evening prediction, we never see the remote control key fob again.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my prime time, we get one more rural town defense. Bonus point if there's an evil, corrupt sheriff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good. So my gimme prediction for daytime is the Myper malfunctions.
Myper malfunctions.
Myper malfunctions.
Myper malfunctions again and can't transform for some, but it's a new reason, or even that, or maybe it's just not even explained. So yeah. My evening prediction.
In the future, this one piece of shit car can sometimes save the day.
My evening prediction: train heist. We may not see it, but I'm betting there's a train heist episode. Somewhere.
That's fair. There most assuredly is.
And my primetime prediction: we get a villain with some kind of there's a name for this trope, and I don't remember what it is, but it's a villain who has like a physical deformity or disability that's actually a superpower. So we're going to get a villain with like an eye patch that's covering up like a cybernetic eye, or they're an amputee with a prosthetic arm that has a cannon inside it, something like that. We're going to get a super villain. And yeah.
I'm so glad we've got a few more of these.
So I have to ask you, Ben, do you I'm getting the impression that you're a Viper enjoyer, right?
Where would you rank
the
Snake Pit?
The Snake Pit. How does this compare with Briscoe County Jr., though?
I mean,
if you had to rank this, Viper, Briscoe, and Blackjack Savage, where would you rank them?
Oh, don't hurt me like this, Victor. Don't hurt me like this. I'm wearing my Ask Me About the 100 Lives of Blackjack Savage.
Oh, that's awesome! The infamous shirt.
I don't know if I talked about this on pod. I talked about the 100 Lives of Blackjack Savage on a pirate ship in Nassau. Like, it was the best experience of my life.
Xhafer did mention to me that you wore that shirt on the cruise, and
yes.
Someone actually asked you about the 100 Lives
a
of
person
Blackjack
who is
Savage.
portraying a pirate on a pirate sightseeing cruise asked me about it. And then also was just like, hey, I'm a Bahamian person, like, what's going on up there in the United States? And I'm just like, I'm sorry. And she was like, okay, like, I was wondering, like, are you guys all okay with that? And I'm like, no. And she hugged me because she's like, I'm sorry.
That's sweet.
She was a very, very nice person. And they also had some very good rum punch.
Yeah. I had some Puerto Rican rum once from a friend of mine back in the day, and that was very impressive rum. So good. Can't have that stuff anymore because it's too much sugar. But anyway.
Yeah. So I guess with all that said, we'll be back next week. But until then, we got to say thank you. Thank you, Right, for letting us use Goon Squad as theme music. We appreciate the hell out of it. You can find their music streaming anywhere you listen to music. Do that. Go see them. Give them a listen. Support Right as much as we do.
Every day I wake up to a different track from Bright Blues, their newest album.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've marked my calendar. They're coming to Dallas. I think it's in May. Either way, I have it written down.
Awesome.
So
Let
thank
us know
you.
when that is.
Yeah.
Maybe Xhafer and I'll come out and visit.
That'd be cool. Thank you to you, the listener. If you enjoy our show, please leave us a review.
The Discord, there's more of you than have actually rated the
So
podcast.
give us a review, and we'll.
Aaron.
And with all that said,
we'll see you next time on
Last Time On.
Not gonna show you.